What?
Yep, it's true. The only hard thing about that is
Who
which
do you
one
play?
do you play?
Yep, that is true. Very true.
Top 5 quarterbacks in fantasy football. Now again, 4 weeks in means you can almost say a quarter.
Yep.
Quarter of the way through the season. Jordan Love, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold. And the punchline to that is, let's not forget the Carolina Panthers at one time had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Ding, ding, ding.
So, and because of that, and because of Joe Burrow sucking, he is now dead to me.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
let
and
us,
you let us know.
You let
You
us
let us
know
know.
that on Sunday.
and
you still won.
I still won, but
Which-
I'm riding Baker Mayfield for the end of the season.
I mean, he looked great.
Like,
He
Joe
looked
Burrow
great.
is literally killing me. So, and the only reason I did beat you is because your players struggled this week.
Oh, struggled mightily. Well, they've struggled ever since I scored 170
Yeah.
points in
It's all downhill.
1 week.
I mean,
all
I
downhill.
Now I struggle to score
Yeah.
92.
Yep.
And I'm not
All
kidding.
downhill.
I actually broke 100 for the first time.
You want to know what killed me, and I knew it was going to? Because in our league, I firmly believe you have to have 2 stud receivers or a stud pass-catching running back.
Yes.
Week 1 and 2, even though Kupp got hurt in week 2, I still got points with him. Having Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp was my game plan. And
I mean, that's a solid game plan.
I
It is a
can't
solid game
recover.
plan.
I traded for Brandon Ayuk. George Pickens was better. The guy I traded away. Garrett Wilson, who I thought was going to be,
I think everybody thought that.
Yep.
I'm like, egg.
Yeah.
And Trey McBride was supposed to be, and I had a great game plan because I have another tight end, but all my tight ends are out.
Yeah.
McBride and Evan Ingram out last week, still out
Yep.
this week.
Yep.
Maybe McBride comes back. I'm sorry. It just,
The injuries have been insane.
Insane.
It's been 4 weeks.
It's, yeah.
So I read this article called Truth and Lies, or False, and it says, it was a wonderful week in New York. False.
100% false.
Perhaps the weather was nice, but the 2 New York teams scored 0 touchdowns in week 4. Daniel Jones and Aaron Rodgers led their team to 24 points, but no touchdowns.
Unreal.
Devin Singletary, going up against the worst run defense, sputtered to 24 yards. And Brees Hall, well, he rounded
Where'd he
out
go?
to 4 points. So it says, please call your New York area friends and check in on them. Good mental health is very important. And you know what I say to that? Thank God that New York fans have what?
The Yankees.
And?
The Liberty.
No,
And the Mets.
I
The
can't
Mets.
say it because it's going to come back to haunt me. That's why we named the show New York,
Yes.
New York, because I'm sorry. I watched Aaron Rodgers and I watch him just blaming everything on his receivers. He does this.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson went to run an out pattern, and before he could get out, the ball was literally coming out.
Yeah.
And he never saw it. And when Wilson went to go back to the huddle, this is what Aaron Rodgers was doing. Like he was going to kill him.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, if I was a receiver on that pattern, that out pattern, and I'm coming back to the huddle with you looking at me like that, I would have a few choice words for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And I might take myself out of the game until you change your face. Change your face.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
never
And
going to
then
change his face.
No.
The very next
No.
play, he did the same thing to Lazard or somebody
Yeah.
else because he's getting pummeled.
Yeah.
So he's just throwing it.
Yeah.
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 And he can't scramble out of the pocket
No.
Nope.
like he used to.
No.
Nope.
So New York, New York, God bless you all. I mean, you've got the Yankees that will be playing this weekend. And the
Can't
Mets,
wait.
I didn't even know on Monday the Mets won until CB texted me. It was so good that I blocked it out. Didn't really know
Yep.
until I saw my phone and I'm like, well, first of all, she would not text me unless they won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't believe they're in because after beating the Phillies 3 out of 4,
Yep.
they stunk the first 2 games against the Braves
Yep.
and the Brewers.
Yep.
But I'm not going to say anything else.
It's October.
I'm
Anything
just,
can happen in October
Yeah.
baseball.
it's very, very true. Very true. What was the other thing? Oh, I got a funny one for you guys. Let me see if you guys appreciate this as much as I did. Under the truth part of this article, the truth as to why a third burger experiment failed. Because what's it really called? Quarter pounder, not a third pounder. Okay. So the truth as to why the third pounder burger experiment
They
failed
thought it was less.
in the U.S.
Yep.
It was tried at A&W and McDonald's is because Americans thought they were getting less meat than the quarter pounder because 3 is smaller than 4.
Yep. Good old the American school system.
And it says our
I love
education system must get better. I'm sorry, I had to share that
Funny
one.
story is I was working at McDonald's when we had the third pound
Oh,
burgers.
that is hilarious.
And people are truly idiots. Like
I love this.
we had like sales for the like trying to promote them, and people are just
So dumb.
I love this.
They're
I
just
read
so
this in
dumb.
a football article.
they're just so dumb.
and you didn't even know I was going to say it.
Nope.
Did you
Unreal.
just want to look at people like, did you serious? Just
And
seriously.
it's so
Seriously.
funny. It's so funny because you know how many times I got judged because the McDonald's that I worked at is in a very wealthy area. You know, the amount of times I got judged because I was a kid working at McDonald's and I'm like, you don't know that a third is bigger than a
Right.
quarter?
Right.
Who's the idiot
Right.
now?
Oh my God. CB, good job.
Unreal.
CB's got some fun pictures to pop up there. First one is, I'm going to go out of order. It's the 2018 NFL draft class where the top 4 picks were Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Kyle Pitts. Karen would like to trade Kyle Pitts to me for a bag of popcorn.
Or anyone that
Yeah.
will take him, basically.
Billie Jean King, God bless you. You are absolutely amazing. One of the most popular tennis players, her and Chris Everett, when I was growing up in my time. The first individual female athlete to be recognized as the Congressional Gold Medal.
That's amazing.
That
Ding, that's two
ding,
dings.
ding,
Two-
ding,
yeah,
ding,
yeah.
That just makes my heart warm, makes me smile from ear to ear. The last 2 couple, we're going to talk about Dikembe Mutombo. I was in literal shock just at the age of 58. The 2015 Hall of Famer, and I have to use these words to describe him: tireless advocate and the biggest ambassador for the game, for the NBA, but more so for just the
game
game
of basketball.
of basketball. He simply was larger than life, poured his heart and soul into basketball, but into helping others more than anything. 18 seasons, 8-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA, and for that, I was just
gonna
this.
say. How can you not?
Oh,
like, how
my
can
heart.
you not?
And literally, was it less than 24 hours later that Pete Rose,
Yeah.
it was announced
Yeah.
that Pete Rose had passed.
Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle, thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
It's so funny because what one did for their sport and for
Yeah.
their community, the other tarnished his sport a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But it is still a shame that Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame.
It's a,
Oh, it's yeah.
it's stupid.
It's so stupid.
And with all honesty, like if you think about like the steroid era and everything
Right.
we dealt with,
Right.
players have dealt with that. What he did really wasn't that bad.
Nope.
Like
Nope.
No.
big deal.
But-
Like I don't know. I just think it's
It's so
I
stupid.
honestly thought at some point he would get inducted.
I did as well.
Same.
I
Same.
really did.
If they do it now because he passed, I'll be pissed.
Exactly.
Right.
You had
And that
you had
might
so
happen.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had so long to let him just
To
have
write-
his moment.
exactly.
He deserved it. All-time
Absolutely.
hitting. Like, I'll never forget his collision at the plate in the All-Star
Oh.
game. Like,
God.
you know, nobody hustles like that in the All-Star game anymore because,
Nope.
you know, it's the
They make too
All-Star
much
game.
money. No, they make too much money.
They
Way
don't
too
wanna
much
get hurt.
money. But what a player he was. And a guy who loved the game of baseball.
He really did. I
Loved
mean,
it.
nobody went in any harder
No.
head first than
No.
him. The figurine I have of him at home, like these, are literally him sliding head first.
And he got air.
Oh,
like
he
he
got
didn't
air.
slide smoothly like Trey Turner, you know, his
Yeah, yeah.
smooth slide.
Yep.
Or you know, Ella De La Cruz, but he like literally
Air.
like belly
Airborne.
flopped, airborne. Like
100%
it's so
airborne.
impressive. So impressive.
And he had that thick head of
Mm-hmm.
hair that just went, yeah, just. And I'll say this again: I had a phenomenal childhood thanks to my mom, and my mom and my aunt Carmen were huge Reds fans, and we would always go to Montreal. It was Montreal Expos, obviously, in my time, and we would always go to watch Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan, Pete Rose, Sparky Anderson was a manager. It was a great time to be a kid. You could go to Jerry Park. I'm probably paid $2 to get
Yeah.
into those games. And it's just one of the greatest memories of my childhood was watching that Cincinnati Reds team, because my mom and my aunt loved them, so of course we did as well. And great World Series, there's been many, and I'm probably getting the year wrong. I want to say it was 73, 74 in there, where the Reds and the Red Sox, it went 7 games. It was the Carlton Fisk
Yep.
World Series,
Yep.
and Louis Tiant was fabulous. Of course, I'm a kid cheering for the Reds in Vermont,
Right.
you know?
Right.
But it was one of the greatest World Series. I went to bed every night till, let's say I was 8 or 9, with my Cincinnati Reds hard hat on. I remember that too. My mom would come in and move it. Good times, and thank you, Pete Rose.
Then I'm surprised
and
you are not a
Dikembe.
diehard Reds fan.
I still am a Reds fan. And then I became a huge Gary Carter fan because I would go to Montreal all the
Right,
time.
yeah, he started,
And
yeah.
he was my Montreal guy.
Right.
And then he went to the Mets, and I'm like, well, but my heart will always be with the Reds, 100%. My heart breaks a little bit. I got to be honest with you
Yeah.
guys. My heart breaks a little bit. CB, give us the update on Detroit and Houston. Is it still 5-2?
Still, it's 5-2 going into the bottom of the 9th.
Love it.
So the Houston Astros could be out.
Could be. Well, what's
Boy.
that?
That would be just a travesty for everyone.
Oh,
So as
so
we
sad.
shift to what's going on in baseball, Wheel said this before we went on the air, and CB and I have been saying it last couple of weeks at work. If you're in the National League, and I understand that the Dodgers have the best record and the Phillies are right tight behind them, I don't want to play the San Diego Padres.
Nope.
Watching Michael King pitch last
It
night
was nasty.
Yeah.
was my
It
favorite
was nasty.
part of the MLB season
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? This guy?
Yeah,
Yep.
amazing.
And then I forgot that he was part of the Juan Soto trade.
So did
Came
I.
from New York.
Yeah.
He was part of the
Yep.
Juan Soto trade, and he had 12 strikeouts.
Yep.
Other than Kevin Brown and Sterling Hitchcock, you can say who. Those are the only Padre pitchers with double-digit strikeouts. So I
remember
wouldn't
Kevin Brown.
have known that, but as I'm watching between innings, there was a quote put up on the screen from Michael King saying, everybody thinks the Yankees won that trade. I personally think the Padres did. This is King
Yeah.
in his quote. So he was very much believing in
Yeah.
himself.
Yep.
And then I watched him pitch for 3 innings, and I went, holy shit, does this
Yeah.
guy
Yeah,
bring
he
the
was
heat.
great. We gave up a lot for Soto.
Woo!
A lot of good pitchers, too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to tell Wheels and CB this, and they're both going to be like, are you
No.
serious?
Yeah, I remember him.
I mean, if you wanted to keep King, but you got Juan
Right.
Soto.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Let's see if we can keep Juan Soto.
Right. But yeah,
That's-
the
that's the
Padres right
issue.
now are just, they're on fire.
They are on
Yeah.
fire. Tatis is playing at an
Out of his
all-time
mind.
Oh, my
Out of his
gosh, yes.
mind.
And there's a good mix of youth mixed
Yes.
in with it
Yep.
now. You know,
Yep.
it's a good mix that somehow they've been missing the last
Yep.
couple of years. I like the makeup of that team.
I do too.
Yeah.
The funniest thing to me is if I can hypothetically go with the seedings, the Dodgers and the Padres playing. in
Oh,
the next
boy.
round.
I would love it.
Oh, boy.
I mean, the Phillies are probably going to make out whether they get the Brewers or the Mets. I'm
Yep.
sure they don't want any part of the
No.
Padres.
Yep.
No.
I mean, you never know. The Mets you never know.
It's all
You don't.
about
Yeah.
how
No,
you're
it's not-
playing.
right.
Yep,
it's
and
how you go.
and they recently played each other, so that should be
right.
interesting.
Right.
But you know what? Honestly, about the Juan Soto trade, I would agree. I mean, if the Yankees don't win a World Series, which I can't see them doing this year, they don't have the pitching, and we lose Juan Soto, the Padres 100%
Oh, yeah.
won that trade
Yep.
because it'll be a year of Juan Soto for nothing,
For nothing.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
So
did read another article that said that, of course, Steve Cohen was going to really back up the Brinks truck. I'm going to tell you again who I want the Mets to get. Alex Bregman and Corbin Burns. When I watched him pitch for the Orioles last night, I only saw a few innings, but I'm like, God, you would look good in a Mets
was a
uniform.
close game.
And you would look good 1-2 with Senga.
yeah,
So get 2. Don't just get 1.
yeah.
Because you're going to
Yeah.
be paying that dude a lot of money.
A lot.
Oh yeah.
A lot of money. And again, I just want him to stay with the Yankees. I just
That's where he
and
belongs.
that Royals game was fabulous.
It was awesome.
Yes.
Great pitching.
Yep. Their Royals are up 1-0
Love it.
in the bottom of the third.
Love it.
Bottom of the third.
Wow, I was gonna.
I almost wore my Royal shirt today, but I didn't want to podcast jinx them, so I didn't.
like I did Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Week 2.
Yeah.
Son of
I think
a
our
gun.
jinx is a thing, you guys.
It's real.
I think
It
it's
is so
Thinking
real.
Shit is real.
Yeah. So in the W, you've got Liberty up 2, Connecticut tied,
1
and
and 1.
Minnesota tied.
Yeah.
I said that the Liberty should sweep. And
They
I mean
will.
the whole entire
They
thing.
will. They will.
Unless it's the
Minnesota.
Lynx.
Yeah.
If it's the Sun, I picked the Liberty to sweep in the final.
Because the Liberty have been playing great
And
defense.
Nestle's playing out of her mind.
And that,
is.
yeah,
She
she's
is
going insane.
So
I love
fun
that.
to watch.
I love
And their
that.
defense has been
Awesome.
really, really good.
awesome, which was their
Their weak
weakness
point.
last year.
Yeah.
And their bench was a weakness last year.
Yep.
And
I mean, now you
both
have Sloot coming off.
yeah, vastly improved. That rookie from Germany, or is that what she's
Phoebish.
from?
Yep, Phoebish.
She is good.
She is
She's
good.
so good.
She is good.
So
and she's
good.
tall.
Yeah.
For a guard.
I
She's like
watched the
6'4".
Aces game on Sunday for as long as I could watch 3 defensive rotations not happen.
Yeah.
And I went, all right, Becky.
Wide
you
open.
probably need
They
me
were
to come
wide
in and
open.
do 3v3 tonight. Because there was no rotation, and I'm
Nope.
just sitting there going, "Ugh." Lose it playing your best ball. Don't lose it giving up the lane
Yep.
with no rotation at all.
How-
There was a
how
couple
many-
of times they did play defense. I was like, oh, there it is.
How many layups did UNESCO have
Right?
on Sunday?
Oh my God, and
it was
even more last
painful.
night,
Yeah,
like-
it was so painful.
And as much as I love the Lynx defense,
Mm-hmm.
Connecticut's defense is good. And that doesn't surprise me with Stephanie White
Yeah.
at the helm.
Yeah.
It really doesn't surprise me.
That's the only part of Connecticut I like.
Oh, Tigers advance. It's
Nice.
official. Houston's
I had
out.
confetti.
Houston's out, guys.
That's
That
too
smile on her
bad.
face
That's
doesn't
too
get any
bad.
bigger. That's
Oh.
huge. That is huge. Do you guys know that the NHL starts next Tuesday and the NBA starts right?
Yep.
When does the NBA start? Next week?
Next week, I think.
Where'd the
I know-
off
I
season
don't
go?
know.
I'm all confused.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
I see all the commercials now, and I'm like, look, it's baseball and it's football.
Yeah.
And the W as well.
Yeah, Shai was very confused last night when she was like, when do we get to see Caitlin play again? And I'm like, next summer. She's like, summer? I'm like, she's done for the season. She's like, I know, but the season doesn't start till the I said, yeah, the WNBA starts in the summer. She was mind blown by all of this. I was like,
I love it.
okay. And she wanted me to tell you that she does not like Becky Hammond's face.
Well, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
So. I don't
She's
like
like, I
the
don't like her,
other
I don't like
one.
her
She's
face.
always like
Yep.
I
don't
can't
like
even
the
do
New
it.
York
I'm Asian and I
Liberty's
can't
face
even squint
either.
my
Yeah.
eyes like that.
Brandella, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I don't like her face either.
Yeah.
I like Stephanie White's, even though she does the good. She has
Yeah.
the RBF as
Yeah.
well.
She does.
Who else are we talking about?
But you know who we should shout down is the freaking officiating.
Go ahead.
It's been god
Tear it up,
awful.
CB,
It
tear
has
it
been
up.
god awful. What?
I
At least
agree.
have consistency.
Consistency
At least
would
have
be nice.
consistency. Like that game last night between the Lynx and the Sun was so chip. Like it was
Didn't see any
so,
of it.
and they like sometimes called it and sometimes didn't call it.
Right.
And then I'm like, what are you doing?
The next game I watch, I'm going to count how many times I go to the monitor. Because are we not officiating anymore? Because now we can go to
They
the
go- how
monitor.
many
Well,
reviews
because
does
they
each team
suck.
get?
Because they
I
suck.
don't know.
Wait, what?
How many reviews do they get
does
in
each
a
team
game?
get?
Well, they get
Is it one and a half?
They get one challenge. If they win the challenge, they get one more.
Okay,
If they
can
lose
keep
it,
they're
they
done.
get
they're
nothing.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was one and done, but it is.
We're challenging
Okay.
fouls now.
Right? And like
If I
obvious
see one more
ones.
person do
like
this, I'm
obvious
like,
ones.
Don't keep doing this or
Yeah.
this. Saw it in the
Yeah.
Little League World
Yeah.
Series.
I'm
too.
like, well, since when do we challenge fouls all of
Yep.
a sudden? I mean, I get like towards the end of the game with the Liberty and the Aces, there was a close call, like who it went out of bounds on.
Yeah.
Clearly,
That makes sense.
You
That
have
makes
to
sense.
review that.
Right.
Clearly.
Absolutely. 100%.
But like in the second quarter, a maybe not foul on Brianna Stewart, and
Right.
you're challenging that. I'm like, what?
Right.
Because you know why?
don't
Because
get
it's you shouldn't be able to challenge fouls. Because
I agree.
you can't challenge when a foul isn't called.
Right.
So you shouldn't be able
Right.
to challenge when a foul
Agreed.
is called.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
don't like it. I don't like
It's
it.
stupid.
I agree. No
So-
argument at all.
Yeah.
Every time they
and
go
it
to
takes
the
them
monitor,
like,
I'm like,
and it
here we
takes
go
them
again.
like 10 minutes. Like
Yep.
I'm exaggerating, but it takes them
It
forever.
takes them quite a while.
Right. When we can see it, and we're
Yep.
viewing the same thing they're
Yeah,
viewing.
we're reviewing the
so,
same
like,
thing.
why is it taking so friggin' long? I don't know.
So I'm picking the Liberty. I think I've picked them all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody going
picking-
against them?
no.
I'm
Me?
picking the Lynx.
You are.
I'm going with
Love it.
Lynx.
I'm going with anyone but Connecticut.
My World Series is about at the during spring training, I predicted the Phillies and the Orioles. I don't remember who you guys picked, but I know that I picked those.
the Phillies and the Yankees.
Okay. All right. I'm probably going to.
I think I went I think I went Phillies Orioles. I did not. I definitely did not choose the Yankees.
I did. I went out and
You've been
listen,
always way more optimistic about the Yankees than I have.
So like pessimistic with the freaking Giants.
Yep.
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
That I have to shoot high for one of my teams. Like I am a struggling
We just
New York fan right now.
New York.
we just don't have the pitching. We just don't have the pitching.
I'm just hoping that we outscore teams.
Right.
By
That's
hitting
the
home
only.
runs,
That's the only
which
way we'll
I
win
understand
this.
that's probably going to be the only way
Yeah.
we can do it. But
If the
holding
Mets
out
are
faith.
out, we can lend you Severino, who has pitched well this year.
yeah,
Yeah.
He started off really bad yesterday. Really bad in that bottom of the first. I was like, wow, this is ugly. This is going to be brutal. But the Mets bats. NFL rankings. Biggest mover again for the second week in a row. Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they are for real, man.
He
They
looks
are
so
now
good.
sitting
So
in-
good.
He
and
looks
this
so
is
good.
CBS's power rankings. They're sitting at 8. The biggest faller, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
They're
So
terrible.
Commanders up 9, Eagles, and this guy down 9. The top 2 teams, because we kept following the 0-2 and undefeated teams. As far as undefeated, there's just 2 now.
The Chiefs.
And those are your top 2 teams, the Chiefs and the Vikings. Who would
one
have thought?
is not surprising.
Who
One
would've
is
thought?
extremely
Yep.
surprising. But
Yep.
honestly, the Chiefs should not be undefeated.
No,
Like,
they shouldn't.
They are playing
They
terrible.
are-
The Vikings
yep.
are playing out of their mind.
Yep.
Yep. And
Is
subject
Rashee
to
Rice
change. It's
officially out?
I kept hearing
I'm-
ACL, but then it was more testing, more
Right.
testing.
Exactly, that's what I've been hearing. Yeah.
Because you got Pacheco, who's going to be out for a while.
Right.
A long time.
And you
ago.
got Rice.
Yep.
I saw they
You know-
brought back Kareem Hunt, but he's no Pacheco, but you got 3 running backs
Like
now.
the big news today was like,
Devontae.
yeah.
Yeah.
If Devontae goes to the Chiefs,
He
I'm
would be
going.
stupid too, I think.
I'm going to be pissed.
I don't think he will.
If the Raiders trade within their division,
Yeah.
that's just not smart.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
It's not smart.
I
at all.
heard them or the Jets,
I heard
right?
I heard
Jets.
3.
Yep. Jets.
Well, we're going to always hear the Jets because I heard the
Commanders.
Jets.
Ooh, the
I heard the
Commanders.
And
Steelers, Saints, and Jets.
Yep.
Ooh.
So that was the big headline. If he could pick, he typically was going with his 2 buddies.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he was going
Yeah.
Jets, Saints.
Yeah.
Right.
Steelers, I heard, were the first ones to make a phone call. And they were the ones that, they were right on the brink of getting IU.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that would not surprise me.
No.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Warren hasn't played much this year, and he's a pass-catching running back. So you really got just Pickens. And actually, Freiermuth's been playing well. I could totally see the Steeler one.
Yeah.
I could see the Saints.
Yeah.
Put him opposite Olave.
I think he'd be great there, honestly. But
I don't know why. It's one of my whiteboard questions to you guys. So I'm going to drop
Spoiler
it right
alert.
there. Texans 3, Bucks 4, Lions 5. Ravens, who were 0-2, are now 2-2 and looking pretty scary.
Yep.
Yep.
After
Oh.
Yep.
demolishing
Oh my
the Bills.
gosh.
it wasn't even a game.
And it wasn't.
Demolished
It
them.
wasn't. I was so disappointed in that game.
That was the one. I had more fun watching the Broncos and the Jets. I couldn't
Yeah.
wait to watch the Ravens and the Bills.
Yeah.
Yep.
I quickly went to the W because I'm like,
Yeah,
this
I
is
watched the
boring.
W. I was like,
Steelers round out the top 9 for CBS Power Rankings. Literally, there is just one team that hasn't won a game yet. We went from 9 2 weeks ago down to 3 to just the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I cannot still wrap my head around.
Yeah, I don't.
Trevor Lawrence is he the highest paid quarterback? I believe he's the highest. They're all clumped in
Yep.
there. But he might be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And I know how good Evan Ingram is for him, but you're going to tell me there's not other guys to throw to on that team?
right. Right.
Right. He has enough talent. Like I don't know.
You think Will Levis is not stepping back in as
No.
the Titans?
I
You
think-
I don't think
it's
so.
Mason
I think
Rudolph show?
if the Titans coach wants to keep his job,
Yeah.
Will Levis does not see the field.
I don't think so.
he already
He's
said
been
when healthy, he's the starting quarterback.
I
then
don't,
he's gonna
he's
lose his
stupid.
job.
He's just looked he's made stupid decisions.
mistakes.
I agree.
He plays cocky. He plays wild. He's
Yeah.
just, you don't know what he's going to do from
Brett
one thing
Favre.
to the next.
Yeah.
Just a young
Yeah.
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Without the talent.
He did, Mason Rudolph did once he entered what Joe Flacco did for the Browns last year. And, well, Joe Flacco did it for the Colts.
Yeah,
against
Yeah.
the
exactly.
Steelers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why did the Browns let Joe Flacco leave?
Who knows?
That's my biggest question.
It's Cleveland, and
Yeah.
this is what they do.
I'm just dumbfounded by the fact that Joe Flacco is with the Colts now.
Yeah.
And is Anthony Richardson coming back this week or anytime soon? Because he is getting beat to a pulp.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what. I feel like he is the next Robert Griffith.
Yep,
Yep.
RG3.
That's what
Yep.
I feel like.
Yeah.
He's bigger than RG3, but he's taking the same amount of hits. And super talented.
Yeah.
Super
Oh, yeah.
talented.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Super athletic.
but I can see that, and I worry about Jaden Daniels being the same thing.
Yep.
But he, I feel like, has a little bit more presence of mind to
Yep.
like throw the ball away or
I agree.
get out of bounds
Yep.
or whatever.
I agree. And
He just seems to have a little.
Whereas
bit more
Anthony
IQ.
Richardson, because he's so big,
Correct.
maybe it isn't feeling that pressure.
Right. I mean, I worry about Josh Allen too because he's takes some big hits too.
Oh,
he
yeah.
slides late a lot.
He does.
he got pummeled on one
Yeah.
where
Yeah, it was
Yes.
bad.
the ball got fumbled as he was coming forward. And then it was free game. And he got pummeled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, there goes his shoulder. And I know how tough that guy
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
then the next
but-
series, he got hit again, and then I went to the W game, and I was like, I can't even watch this happen anymore.
Yeah.
Do the Dolphins win a game this year?
No.
No.
Did they play
Marty-
the Jags? Did they play the Patriots? Did they play
They're
the
playing the
Jets?
Patriots
I
this
think
week.
their only win was the Jags. Yes, their only win was the Jags.
Oh, they played the Patriots this week. Could possibly. Good over-under game, too, right there.
That's going to be.
I thought Tyler Huntley gave him a chance, but when I saw the stats that he threw for 93 yards, I went, nope, that's not happening
No.
either.
And I mean,
Oy
they're literally
vey.
trying anything to get the ball to Tyreek Hill. That they're putting him in situations he's never even been in before, like that backwards pass. Like
I didn't see that.
he
It's
didn't know
probably
it was
good
a
that I
fumble.
didn't see
He
it.
doesn't. He is a receiver. Like, what are you
Right.
doing?
Right.
And you're going to
What
get him
are
hurt
you
too.
doing?
And then
Yep.
it's going to be
Yep.
a freaking cluster F after that.
What was I going to say, you guys? No, that's not what I wanted. So we talked about Devontae Adams already. I was reading an article that, the other thing I heard today was benching Ramondre Stevenson
I heard that.
for Antonio Gibson in
he has the
Patriot land.
fumbles.
Yeah, and he always has had the fumble.
He always
Yeah.
has, yeah.
The article I read is the panic meter. That's what they were calling it, the panic meter. And should the 49ers and the Packers be part of the panic meter, or are they fine? The article said they should be fine at 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird that
should
Jordan
be.
Love comes back though and they
But
lose.
Yeah, well, he didn't look
what
good.
do you have?
No.
3 interceptions?
Yeah, he didn't look good at all.
It was bad.
His stats were good for fantasy only.
Yeah.
They weren't
Yeah.
good to win a game.
No.
No.
In real life.
No.
Real life, not fantasy.
I worry the 49ers without Christian
CMCA.
McCaffrey are just different.
Yeah.
They are different.
Yep.
100%.
And I feel like he was Purdy's like safety, like
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, for sure.
nothing, you know, check down.
Oh,
like,
for sure,
I
for
feel
sure.
like Purdy's playing a little bit different. Ayuk, I don't know what the hell's wrong with him.
Yeah, me either.
And Debo, I've always thought Debo's overrated.
Yeah.
Always. Super talented guy, but he can't stay healthy.
Yep.
I think that's why they gave Ayuk the money.
I think
'cause
so, too.
Right.
Rose is up at the end
Right.
of this year.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
think they keep him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but I don't know.
Because with Christian, with CMC, you had to worry about him catching it as well.
Right.
With
Yep.
Mason, he's going to run
He's
it.
just
Right.
gonna run.
He's a big
Right.
stud. He's a
Right.
stud. He's a hard
Right.
runner. But with CMC, it was like, oh, where do we go? What do we do?
Right.
Because now he could catch it out
Right.
in the flat.
Right.
I mean, he's just such a lethal weapon. And does Christian McCaffrey come back anytime soon?
I know. Now it's both, they're saying.
Bilateral Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah.
That's rough for a running back.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm
You
like,
can't
CB?
like
And you can't rush that. You
You
can't be like,
can't.
oh,
It's just gonna
I'm at
make-
60% I can play.
It's just
Not
gonna-
with an Achilles.
nope, and it's just going to make the tendonitis worse.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? As you know, Wheels.
I know. That was
Wheels.
unnecessary, CB. Whatever. Nobody needs to know.
So do we think they're going to be fine, or do we think panic after a quarter, a little under a
I think
quarter
the
of the season?
49ers will be fine.
I think they'll figure it out.
Slight panic for the Packers.
For the
perhaps.
Packers.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
They're in a tougher
Jordan
division.
because Jordan Love does not look good.
No. And their
He did
division
not
is
look good.
way tougher
I
than the
think-
49ers.
For sure.
I think he's, yes, and I think he's rushing himself back.
Agreed.
Yes,
I just,
I agree.
I don't know, I'm like,
I agree.
should be fine or zero margin for error. The Eagles, the Jets, and the Cowboys.
Zero margin forever.
All three of them.
Yep.
I looked at that and I read that and I went, yeah.
Eagles just look bad.
I'm telling you, their
They
coach
do.
needs to
There's
go.
no brights. Sirianni needs to go.
Sirianni's terrible.
My buddy's like, he needs to go. I hate him. Like they have no excuse anymore because they
Right.
replaced their offensive coordinator and their defensive
Yes.
coordinator.
Yes.
So it's the coach. You got to get rid of the coach.
It's
So-
definitely the coach.
2 out of those 3 teams that we're talking about right now should have got rid of their coaches
Yep, for sure.
in the offseason.
For sure.
We all, as
Yep.
football fans, knew that.
For sure.
Sirianni and McCarthy, they had no right
Yep.
to be there.
Oh my
Nope.
God, McCarthy! Like, what are you?
Nope.
I don't even know.
I don't.
Why?
And
Why? I was so yeah.
Brandon Cooks is now out for the Cowboys.
Yep.
Not a big time receiver, but another receiver.
Yeah.
Right.
They have 0 run game.
Zero.
That
Yep.
Jerry never worried about in the offseason.
Right.
I'm like, just draft one. Just
Yeah.
draft a
Right.
running back. You can get him
So
in
you
the
have the
3rd, 4th,
option.
and 5th
Yeah.
round. Just draft one. So you're saying a 0 margin for error.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if Dallas played anyone else but the Giants on Thursday, they would have lost.
Yes.
They
For sure.
did not play well at all, but they were fortunate enough to play the Giants.
And this last one, there's nothing to compare it to. It just called them in the danger zone. And it had the Jags, the Dolphins,
Yeah.
the Rams.
Yeah.
And a lot of, the Rams and the Finns is injuries.
Yeah.
The Jags, I don't get, but the other team is the Bengals.
I
Because they
agree.
still don't
Yeah, they-
look good.
No.
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 And
No.
that's the team that I
Joe Burrow's dead
can't
to me.
figure
I'm
out.
so confused.
Yeah,
When we
I
were
don't
making
know.
our predictions, I said, I just don't like them defensively.
Yeah.
But they should be able to put up 28, 32 points a game. And they just squeaked that one out
Yep.
last week.
Yeah.
They just squeaked
Yep.
it out.
Yep.
And I don't get it.
Me neither.
And I don't think I've heard T. Higgins. I know he's only been back for a week or 2.
I haven't even.
But
did
I
he
didn't
even
hear
catch
his
a
name.
pass last week?
Yeah, I didn't even hear
No.
his name mentioned.
No.
So, I don't
I'm
know.
in agreement with almost all of those that they said.
Yeah.
for sure.
Same.
And who'd have thought we would? And I know it's a long season because the teams we're boasting about the Commanders. You know, they could stumble because they're still a young team.
Yep.
But I think Dan Quinn has put them in a position to succeed. He brought in Cliff Kingsbury, which is bringing in a big ego, but he has solidified that offense, play to Jaden Daniels' strengths. And Dan Quinn's going to take care of the defense.
Yep.
It's not there yet, but that defense is going to get better and
Yeah, it
better
is.
with each week. I'm going to turn, anything you need to say? No? To the 6-pack of picks, because Wheels, you
I
had a
bombed.
really good week.
I
I
did?
bombed.
You had a really good week.
I didn't even remember who I.
CB with 2, 3, 5.
Nice.
Damn, Wheels.
Dang, which game did I lose?
So we all had the Falcons winning, which was a squeaker.
Ooh, yeah.
You had the Bucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
We had the Eagles.
Yeah.
There you go.
We all had the Commanders over Arizona. We all had Green Bay.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
had Green Bay. I was like, we just won't believe in Minnesota yet. We all had the Lions, and that was an easy one.
Yep.
You, my friend, had the Ravens.
Yep.
CB and I had the Bills.
Yeah, that was real bad.
Yep, that was real bad.
However, how sick were the Lions uniforms last night?
Those were
Yes.
pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
I loved those.
Those were pretty
I was like,
amazing.
dang, those look good.
So after 4 weeks, Wheels, you have 15 wins, 14 and 11, with week 5 coming up.
Yep.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. This is what happened
Plenty
last year.
of time. So we're going to start before we do Whiteboard Wednesday with our 6-pack of picks. So I am up this week, and we have laid them out nicely here. So, one thing I want to say, though. Every article I've read, whether it's ESPN, CBS, NFL Network, so listening to NFL Network, NFL Live on ESPN, their MVP for the first quarter of the season, everybody agrees on every single station.
Wow.
Do
That's
you
a
guys have an MVP for the first 4 weeks of the season? It's unanimous. Whatever station I listen to or article I've read does the quarter, I wouldn't have said it. And then when everybody says it, I'm like, well, duh. It's not obvious, though.
It's not obvious.
It's not Josh Allen.
No. It's an undefeated team.
He'd be too obvious.
It's an undefeated team.
No, it's not Patrick Mahomes.
No, it's the other one. Sam Darnold.
Wow.
Wow.
Everybody.
Could you imagine?
Sam Darnold is their first 4 weeks of the season MVP. I was like,
There was
Like
zero.
I do?
I mean, there
Wow.
was zero expectations for him.
Zero.
Exactly.
Like
True.
he had nothing to lose.
nothing.
Dan Orlovsky can't stop beaming. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm beaming too because but wow. And again, as soon as everyone says this, I go, and it's a long season.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And it is a long
And
season.
and they just jinxed him.
Yeah. First game. Tomorrow night's game, which if
It's
thank
gonna
God,
be tough. This gonna be tough.
Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
Finally, a good Thursday night game.
It's gonna.
Finally.
It's gonna be.
And I
oh,
hope it is a good game.
Yeah.
The other article I read said Kirk Cousins should be benched now. And I was like,
Wow.
oh boy.
Wow.
But you can't bench him with all the money vested.
No.
And I
No.
again think it's good that Michael Penix is sitting. JJ McCarthy, no matter what, was going to sit anyways.
Yeah.
I firmly believe.
Real-
And I think Drake May is going to get a chance here soon.
Real quick. We have a fantasy questions from Kayla.
Kayla, how you doing, bud?
Play Flowers, who plays at Cincinnati, or Reed, who plays at Rams.
Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough
Is it-
one, though. Ooh.
But
I mean, I would normally say Flowers, but
yeah,
he hasn't. been doing
hasn't done anything.
I mean,
Jody
I'm
has
playing him.
benched. Oh, you're playing him.
As of right now,
Whoops.
but I'm probably going to
Take
bench
back
him.
what I said.
I'm probably going to bench him, but as of right now, he's in my lineup. But
And I only say that because
I'm probably going to bench him.
Jordan Love keeps looking to Reed, and Christian Watson's out. So that's the only reason I'm
Right.
saying.
I would
Yeah.
say Reed as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Thank you, Kayla. I love it when you ask fantasy questions. I love it. And I miss seeing your face, friend. So who wants to go first? Tampa at Atlanta. I really thought by now Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, would figure out how to use Kyle Pitts, or can he just not catch the ball?
He can.
Because Kirk Cousins said in training camp that he catches it too much against his body instead of using his hands. He's a big stud, though. How you not?
is. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I keep going against Tampa.
Yeah.
I am not. I am riding Baker Mayfield.
He looks so good. I'm gonna go with the Bucks too.
Me too,
He
because
looked
I
so
like
good
both
this past
defenses.
weekend.
I like both defenses a lot.
Yeah.
But Tampa's offense, it just looks so
So
smooth.
good.
It's smooth. So smooth.
I'm going with them, and I need
Watch
Baker
us-
to get me like
Watch us podcast jinx him
I
now.
know
Yeah.
20
I
some
pray we
20
do
odd
not.
points. Come on, buddy.
All right, game number 2. 3-1. Both teams. The Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans.
Ooh. Ooh.
The Bills revenge game, but let's remember Von Miller has now been
Suspended because
And
gosh.
he was
Ooh.
a wrecking ball on that. As far as getting pressure on the quarterback, I think C.J. Stroud's going to have a day. And I'm going to put the Bills on a 2-game losing streak.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
You love the
I
Bills.
love. I do. I
I'm
love
going.
them.
I'm going with the home team. Going with Texans.
You're going Texans. This is how we're getting in a bigger hole against Wales, though.
I know. I know.
Getting a bigger hole
I
here.
I have a lot of faith in them. I didn't when the season first started and we did our picks. I was like, who's he going to throw to?
Right.
What's the offense going to look like? They're not going to
Baker?
win. No, Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah. Sorry.
But
He's doing a good Patrick Mahomes. He's using
he's
everybody.
he's doing great.
He's using
Like
everybody.
I really like Buffalo. So.
And I think as the season goes along, you have to give some love to the tight ends because they're so good, yet so bad.
right.
Dalton Kincaid
Yeah.
will flourish as
Yes.
the season goes along.
Yes.
Maybe in this game. A blast from the past, one of the best rivalries
Right.
in football.
Wow.
The Dallas Cowboys at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cowboys without Lawrence, DeMarcus Lawrence is definitely out, and without Parsons. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Justin Fields could have a field day.
Yeah. I'm going
I'm
with
going.
Pittsburgh.
Me too.
I think we're all going with Pittsburgh. That just made my sister nervous if she's watching. So we're all going
Sorry
with
if
the
we jinxed
Steelers.
them. Sorry. Sorry.
that defense is so good.
So good. And I think Fields gets better every week. So
So we're going to test Wheels with this next one. The Saints at the Chiefs, because Wheels made the comment that is spot on, that the Chiefs should not be undefeated.
they should not.
Right.
And now without Rashid Rice, Ben without Pacheco. Defense is solid. Ben don't break. The Saints started out hot, and have cooled
Yep.
a little bit. I mean,
Yep.
they're still in games.
Yep.
They shouldn't have lost to. Oh no, they beat the Eagles. Yes.
Yes.
So never mind. I had that the other way around. I want to pick an upset here. I really do. I'm going to go with the Saints. Here's my upset pick. That's going to get me further in a hole.
I'm going with you.
Okay.
Saints. I just don't.
I know,
There's only so
especially
much magic Patrick.
right
Mahomes
that he
has.
and they. But they're at home.
CB's going with the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, fuck me.
Are you going with the Chiefs?
Yeah. God damn. Yeah. Damn.
In the London
I hate
game,
myself for that.
9:30 on Sunday morning.
love
Get
that.
your bagels ready.
Love that.
The
Coffee
New York
and football.
Jets and the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota's going to win by 20 at least.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The
Yep.
Jets are
I'm
not
taking.
good.
Yeah, Vikings for sure.
Vikings all the way.
Wow.
Yep.
I was going to give them a little bit of love.
No.
But I'm just kidding. And wrapping it up, the one I can't wait to see, the Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals, because one of these weeks the real
only-
Bengals are going to come
The only
out
team that they show up to play
is the Ravens.
is the Ravens. The only
And the
team that they
Chiefs.
show up, and yeah,
I'm picking the Ravens.
Same Z's.
yeah, same. I can't.
I don't think
I can't.
I will be shocked if the Ravens lose again this year.
I mean, just hand the ball to
Yeah.
Derrick Henry again.
It's
Gail says, "Ugh, we must beat them." And
That's
then
a big one.
And then Karen asks, Darnold or Purdy? When do I throw the towel in with Ridley and Evans?
Not Evans.
not Evans. No, Ridley. Yeah.
Ridley, I mean, Evans, it's a little, but Ridley, I had him last year, Karen, and he came out so strong. And I'm like, oh my God, I got a great third receiver, second, whatever he was. And then he just done.
Yeah.
So you're trying to pick what game in one game every 4 weeks
Right.
that he's going to
Right.
play well in. Throwing the
that's
towel
my-
on Ridley, not Evans.
Not Evans. And I would play personally. I would play Darnold over Purdy this week because Darnold's playing the Jets, and let's be real.
You play Purdy, you said?
No, I'd play Darnold.
You played Darnold, even against that Jets defense. Because Purdy's going up against the Cardinals. You're still playing.
I would, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I've won one fantasy game, so
I've only won 2.
let's be real here.
Geez, Karen, flip a coin on that one. I mean, our MVP, just know that we just talked about Sam Darnold
right, so we
for
probably
MVP,
jinxed them, so
you should go with Purdy.
Go with Purdy.
I'm sorry. Whiteboard Wednesday, we're going to wrap up the last 2 or 3 minutes. Thank you guys for asking us the fantasy questions. All right.
Real quick, just because I want to have it on record, my bet of the week. I'm not confident
Oh, yeah,
about this.
you go first, please.
Not confident
please.
about this one whatsoever. I chose the Thursday night game. So I just need Cousins and Mayfield each to throw 175.
Okay.
Bijan, I need him. This is the one where I'm nervous. He needs to score a touchdown, and then 40 rushing yards, and then I need Mike Evans to get 40 receiving yards. I feel like if Bijan gets a touchdown, then I have a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
But I'm not confident in this one whatsoever.
Jen
just
would like
put it out there.
Bijan to get a touchdown too, sitting
Yeah.
at 3-1. Emily Hawes might have had the biggest win this week.
Yeah.
because she was down by 40 going into Monday.
Yeah,
You get a ding
and I
for
play her
that
this
one.
week. I think.
In fantasy football, is Patrick Mahomes an elite quarterback? And when I say elite, top 10.
Are we doing just rapid here and then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Okay. In fantasy, you say?
In fantasy, is he an elite quarterback?
Okay.
Top 10. Who clinches tonight? Kansas City, San Diego, or the Mets? If you believe strongly in 2, go for it. These guys
Jen
are
says
going
yes, please.
head to head. Who's better in fantasy this week, Josh Allen or C.J. Stroud?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, bing, bing, bing. Should the Browns bench Deshaun Watson for Jameis Winston? Just simple yes or no. Hope I don't go out of order here. You guys are going to love this one. Fantasy. Head to head. And I'm saying Anthony Richardson's not playing.
Okay.
Okay.
Joe Flacco or Trevor Lawrence?
Ooh.
This one's going to make you guys laugh. You're being recruited heavily, college basketball. I'm obviously mixing up an error with another one. Who do you want to go play for? Pat Summitt,
Ooh.
Kim Mulkey, or
No.
Gino?
God.
I had to throw
You
Mulkey
could
in there.
ixnay that one. That's a
Good?
good question.
That's a good one.
Good? You're Devontae Adams. You're Devontae Adams. Who do you want to go play with? The Jets, the Steelers, or the Saints? I'm giving you the three I heard today, which subject to change, no doubt. I had also heard the Cowboys,
Ugh,
but I don't see
do
that
it.
happening. I don't see that happening.
Don't go to the dark side.
Oh, I did have one more, I think. Oh, we're not going to ask you that one. I've already asked enough. All right.
Oh, no, number 8? Okay.
No, number 8.
Okay.
First question, Patrick Mahomes, is he an elite fantasy quarterback, meaning top 10?
No.
No.
Good job, you guys. He's ranked number 15 as of today. What was the second one I asked you guys?
Who's clinching?
Who's clinching?
Who clinches tonight? KC, San Diego, or NY Mets?
I did San Diego and KC.
As did I.
Solid.
Nice.
I'm surprised you picked KC because you're a big Orioles.
They're up 1-0.
I know. When I wrote this down, I'm like, God, I hope we're not watching the
I was
KC
like,
score.
no way CB's going to pick KC. Nice. All right.
Was it CJ and Josh next?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, going head to head this week. Who's better in fantasy, Stroud or Allen?
I
have
did
Allen.
CJ.
Ooh, you have Allen? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's Wheels. And CB has CJ. Do you bench Deshaun Watson for Jameis Winston?
Yes.
I just said yes because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, I like that.
Yep.
He's a shit human. So
That
Yes,
was
he
a fun
is.
one. It was a fun one to ask.
Shit
and guess
human,
what?
shit quarterback.
I
Yep.
love
Yeah.
that you said that. Who's the next one? Flacco? Mm-hmm. All right, head to head again. Joe Flacco, Trevor Lawrence.
I'm going with Joe Cool.
You are.
Joe
I went
Flacco.
You both.
I think Lawrence is so overrated. It's
He
not even
is.
funny.
He's.
No.
I've always
Did I-
thought he was overrated.
Did I? There's like a. I showed Lori this. They did like a comparison between him and fucking what's his face? Oh my gosh.
Lawrence?
Yeah.
Shoot. Who was it?
Who was it? I don't know. Anyway, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Who was it, though? It wasn't Daniel Jones, was it?
Oh yes, it was.
It was Daniel Jones.
Like, and Daniel Jones had like better stats than Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, dear Lord.
And everyone shits on Daniel Jones, out as they should. But then Trevor Lawrence is some generational talent. So
Dear Lord, that's bad.
yeah,
It doesn't get any worse than that, that Daniel Jones has better stats than you.
What coach do you want recruiting you out of the three legends?
I picked
Just-
Gino.
I picked Summit.
Yes! I'm glad.
Oh, I knew you'd pick Summit.
Yeah.
Yes!
I can't. She scared the living daylights out of me, and she makes her players run till they puke, so no. No, sorry, Bob.
Oh, that's
now,
amazing.
my question would have been better when Mulkey was at Baylor.
Still
so
no.
much respect for her. So much respect for her at Baylor. If you're Devontae Adams, who do you want to go play for?
The Saints.
Oh, I put the Steelers.
Steelers and the Saints. Let's see where he goes. My last question that I didn't ask. Milroe or Hunter for Heisman after
Oh.
last week? Because we didn't talk college football
No.
yet.
Which I cannot believe we didn't talk college football because holy
Game of the year.
Alabama.
Yep.
And I tell you what, Georgia was down by like 3 scores
Yeah.
at one point and came back and took
Yeah.
the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they took the lead, I'm like, buck up on defense
Yeah.
because you're known for your defense more than your
Yep.
offense.
That was a great game.
Jalen Milroe might have just, and he's a very confident young man,
Oh,
you guys.
very. He thought he should have won the Heisman last year.
I mean, he's too confident for my taste.
Yeah, I don't like it.
So the article I read said, should Travis Hunter get the Heisman? Well, why not?
Well,
Yeah, absolutely.
If it is a true
Best
award,
Yeah.
the best college player,
Yep.
it is without a doubt Travis Hunter.
Absolutely.
all agree.
Absolutely.
But
could
we
not
all
agree
know
more.
it's probably going to
not
go to
go-
a quarterback.
That's so.
Like it's kind of like the NFL MVP. It's the all-around best
Yeah.
player, but a quarterback wins it 90% of the time, 95% of the time.
And Cam Ward's the other one from
Yeah.
the University of Miami that will be in it as
But
well.
Travis
and they should
Hunter-
have won.
The fact that he plays literally every snap of the
Yep.
game, and he
Yep.
plays two very tough positions, and he excels at both of them.
Right.
Like, come
100%.
on. How can you not? I loved it when he did the Heisman pose the other night. I loved it.
He'll get drafted as a cornerback, but you know he's
Yeah.
going to play offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be insane.
why wouldn't he?
That's gonna be insane.
He should win it. Will he? I don't think so.
And I'll say this about Milroe. He's definitely playing some great football. Coach Kalen DeBoer is the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
He did it with Penix last year. He's doing it with Milroe now. If you draft him high, and we got a long ways to go before next April, you got to have the right coach because
You do.
Yeah.
I didn't think Milroe was that great last year. I mean, he got by, but I'm like, doesn't
Right.
scare me. Doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah.
And when they played Michigan, didn't scare me at all. But DeBoer is a phenomenal quarterback coach.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. I would look at Ward, and I would definitely hand that Heisman to Travis Hunter.
Yes. As of right now, yes. 100%.
And college football is just going to get better and
Royals
better.
have the bases loaded with 2 outs.
What inning?
Top of the 5th.
And they're up by
1. It's 1-0.
Orioles, man. They were so solid until the last 3 weeks
Yeah,
of the
they
season.
fell apart.
Yeah.
They fell apart, and that
But
kind
I
of
mean,
breaks my heart.
yeah.
Well, that wraps up another. We went into a little bit of overtime.
all right.
Just a
Yeah.
little bit of overtime.
Happens.
Enjoy the W. Enjoy college football. Enjoy the MLB playoffs because
Right.
this is the best time of year for MLB.
really is.
And have fun with Week 5. But more than anything, get out and support your local high school teams. We just got a couple of months, and there's a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff going on.
Weather's fantastic still. We've gotten lucky, so no excuses. You can't say it's too cold.
Exactly.
It's
Get out there and
best time.
support.